You know, like this tea party is only good enough. They'll invite you in, like you see, like this. Where there's water here, they'll give me a sip of this water, and I say, I saw you, man, eating hors d'oeuvres around there. Oh, sorry, that's finished.
That's finished.
They'll keep me at the table, but never make me satisfied.
So I just dropped my app, www.ChisoLifts.com. Online personal training. You got custom meal plans, custom training plans. With the training plans, you got the video showing you how to do all your exercises. You could log in your sets, your reps, the weights you use, and literally every month I changed up your plan. In the description, you got a code BESTU20 at the moment. You can use that to get a 20% discount for life. New episode today. Me and Big Dean White talking all about boxing. Yeah, stay tuned. On February the 12th, he's got like a big show coming up still. Come to the fight. I'm gonna be down there. Gable's gonna be down there. We're gonna go watch that. So yeah, stay tuned.
Sharp! It's Friday, it's weekend.
Goatee sharp, man. It looks like they just painted him. You get me? Welcome, man.
Yeah,
it's about time still. It's about time.
Yeah, he's saying overdue, overdue, man.
The real boxing management king at the moment. You get me? He's just bringing things up. You get me? Soon Eddie, boy, you're gonna have to step aside, boy. He's gonna come and just take that Sky Sport in the zone.
Yeah, we're trying. We're gonna look at trying to, get our position.
Yeah.
And it's overdue anyway. That's overdue.
Yeah.
It's overdue that there's a position for a black man or someone of ethnic minority to come in and have a play, because, as boxing's evolved, there's a lot of black fighters in boxing, Asian, and we're not in a position of any business position or making decisions. So I think it's well overdue. So I'm gonna try to do my thing for the diversity of the sport and trying to make the movement. But it's good, man. I'm a student of the game. I'm putting a lot of time, and I'm doing everything in it. So promotion is the venture now. That's the one. But I'm managing, promoting. I'm an analyst. I'm just trying to do it all. I'm even in the process of signing some journeymen. So I'm trying to monopolize. I'm not playing about these guys, because you know what it is. I noticed, like this tea party is only good enough. They'll invite you in, like you see, like this. Where there's water here, they'll give me a sip of this water, and I say, I saw you, man, eating hors d'oeuvres around there. Oh, sorry, that's finished. They'll keep me at the table, but never make me satisfied. So for me to evolve, I have to have my own pie. And have control of the whole thing, and that way I'm in a position to not have to beg or borrow off these people or say anything. So if I've got the journeyman, I can happily supply them the journeyman also, for a small fee. I'm not here to hinder anyone. It's about progression, and as well for them brothers who want to get into management, because it's not easy to get into management. You could go into boxing because it's a small community, and it's called the British Boxing Board of Control. And there's not a lot of black promoters or managers, I should say first, that are in the sport that are gonna have all the elite boxers and be able to just come in and say, oh, I want to manage and I'm gonna get. It don't work like that, bro. Who are you first and foremost? And what
work have you put in?
Yeah, there'll probably be blockages because it's not that kind of party. So this is another reason for me. So if there's them who have fighters and they want to get into that, then that's a topic they can come with fighters. If they don't want to get involved, then they could just push the fighters to me. If they say, right, I want to get involved, we can do it together. That's my job to help. My other guys, my people from my demographic or from my culture, wherever it is, growing up with the cosmopolitanness of the UK, you know what I mean, and say, oh, you know what, boom, bring your thing and let's kind of move on. But that will not be a case. You can go and do that anyway. You know what I mean? So this is what it's about.
That's a good look. So February the 12th, man, talk to us. How many fighters have you got on the show? What are they like? New guys, up and comers, amateurs, or? So
no, I do professional boxing. Let me just clear that up.
That's why I had to ask.
No, because some people are like, oh, you're doing amateur shows. No, professional boxing, just like what you see on the TV. Professional boxing, obviously, it's a lot lower level. These are the prospects that are coming up. So it's called, more or less, you say grassroots boxing. So this is young guys coming from, wherever demographic they've come from. And on the show, we've got 12 fighters, ranging from heavyweight down to as low as maybe, I think, like featherweight, something like that. So it's going to be an interesting night. It's going to be a long night. We'll get some entertainment on the night, so we'll mix it. We'll try and change it up and make it a vibe. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely down there.
You come on, man. You know, man's vibe. Man's thing is a little bit different. So man's gonna bring man's culture to whatever it is. Man spice up any kind of scene when we go places. So we'll be playing music. We got all the music. We got the food. The last one we had lobster, jerk chicken, fried fish, escabeche. We had everything.
So
rice and peas. Yeah, we had it.
Everyone's enjoying ringside.
Yeah, come on, enjoyment. Yeah, ringside was packed. It was. Listen, we had a very, very, very good turnout. So I'm equally looking for a similar turnout. I know, obviously, because of COVID restrictions ending of last year, boxing's been suspended in the month of January at the moment in the UK.
Oh,
that's why there's no boxing on. So that we've been a bit tentative in our movements with working behind the scenes and putting the infrastructure and things in place so we can just attack like we've done now. Once they said February boxing is back, we've started to put things into place. But at the same time,
I didn't even know there was a suspension. Yeah, I didn't even know. How come?
Obviously, they're saying the NHS is under pressure because of Omicron, and people are.
Well, yesterday I was watching Arsenal versus Liverpool.
Hey, listen.
And the whole place was filled out.
Listen, the game is.
I'm not even a football man, but that game I just had to sit back and just.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky because these people. It's kind of. They do and say what they feel and they choose what I don't think I wouldn't say it was the government that's actually said that. The British Boxing Board has taken it upon themselves to make that decision to say the easing of the NHS emergency services. But then a doctor came on the news the other day and was saying, not being funny, my NHS hours are my NHS hours. What I do in my private time, that is extra hours curriculum work I do privately. So he said, to be honest, there was no reason for them to stop boxing because it doesn't affect us. So that was what my process of my mindset was thinking anyway when they done it. I thought the same thing. I'm sure it doesn't affect them because it must be in their own time when they do that work. But look, it doesn't matter. I'm just mindful now of hopefully that it doesn't affect my show. But at the minute, it's looking like we're in a good position. They are changing certain protocols, i.e. potentially they're talking about if it's over a certain amount of capacity, you've got to have, what's the word? Vaccine passports, negative PCR tests, and they never talk about this great immune system. It's just good for me. But anyway, vitamin C, vitamin D, check it out. But anyway, I'm not a politician. I'm just soon he's gonna come out with his own supplement vitamin C. Hey, trust me. Everything's
real promoting,
Yeah, trust me, man. We try that. So at the minute we've got a good lineup. We trying to do some entertainment and figuring that out. But we got a vibe. We got like a decent system there where they're playing music and people are vibing. We've got tables selling, just like events, which are selling quite quickly, which is good because obviously people enjoyed that, the sitting down within that VIP kind of area, right next to the ring, drinking and enjoying. Because other than that, you're not allowed to really drink on the floor in boxing because like if someone loses and then they start throwing bottles and doing a mad thing, kind of gets it. And boxing gets rowdy anyway. Everyone who comes there start drinking, drunking, and they're doing other stuff, so sometimes it gets a bit rowdy. But like I said, we're looking for have a good night, and it's Valentine's weekend, so we could call it Lovers and Rock. Ladies, if you fancy looking after your man, you can bring him for a night of action, and you lot can enjoy boxing with your man. Take him out, he'll enjoy that, man. You can maybe take him to the football early and then come there after and spoil your man, treat them, man, look after them. Boxing it is.
See the real salesman there, always pitching, In between every other line, there's a
subliminal. Like you give them the little.
You get me. What's it? February the 12th. So, what are ticket prices starting from? So
we got standard, which is just standard across the board in boxing, 40s, and we've got 90s, and then we've got tables which are 750. And they come with 5 people on the table.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good night because what it is with small boxing, fighters got to sell tickets anyway. So in terms of the pressure, being honest, being on me, it's not really
not as heavy as
it's not as heavy as like if you say you've done a rave or something.
I remember like for instance the early days when Dylan was selling for his fights, like he would come to the gym like Flaxman and that after man them, you know what I mean? He was asking man them left, right and centre, so I know that it was making things
move a lot easier.
So that would help him. So basically how it works is if you fight on a card, normally predominantly what happens is you have an opponent fee which you got to pay. Your money is towards an opponent, and then you pay a house fee, and then you get on a particular card and do it. Only if you fight on the big shows, it's not really the same. If you fight on the big shows, you still, it's not pressure to sell tickets, but if you want a fan base, you want your own people to come and support you, then obviously you'd ideally sell tickets to your supporters, to people who's going to watch and see the development of your career. So, you know what I mean? But on this case, lower down, small hall promotions, this is what it is. These guys got to sell tickets. We find them an opponent who's for their time in their career. They're not overmatched. This is grassroots boxing. This is for them to learn. And
so they're both kind of like, both of them are both on the come up.
Sometimes you get that, but
or sometimes it's a journeyman.
Yes, so more than likely some of them are journeymen, but listen, the new modern journeyman, 21, 22, they're not having it. They coming to make you work for your money. They grafting. At the same time, we have got, like, on the fight before, we had the last fight, the kind of main event as you'd call it. That was a good fight. Both guys were undefeated, super middleweight. And that was an entertaining fight because both of them came to win, and it was a little. But even the first fight on the card was a heavyweight match. That journeyman come to win, he nearly knocked out the prospect. So I mean, you can never listen. One thing you can tell with boxing, you can't. You can say is you can never predict what happens. You know, so it's a good thing sometimes. But like these guys, they need not cakewalks. If it would be so. But we've got some good fights. We've got like a super middleweight again on the card. He's 6-0, 2 or 3 knockouts. Good guy, Martin Farouk. He's signed with Wasserman, which is a big management company. So we've got him a few MTK fighters, and then I've got some of the guys I manage, coach, and train myself who are going to be fighting. And some of them are making their debut. Some fought on the last card. So it's going to be like a good night of action in terms of fights, because I feel like I said, even the journeyman, they're going to come and do their bit to play their part in an eventful night. Hopefully we'll get some, exciting or good knockouts. If not, we're just going to have, as long as we have good 50-50 fights where both parties gain something out of it, then that's good. And then, we just want an eventful night, man, and no trouble. Leave that for somewhere else, guys.
At a pro level out here in the UK, what would you say, what division is the most exciting to watch at the moment?
Heavyweights are always good, man, because it just literally takes one punch, man. You know what I mean? It changes up things. As we saw, like, with Andy Ruiz and Joshua in New York when he lost his first fight. It just took one punch. So you went to
that fight, innit?
No, not that one. I was, do you know what, funny enough, I was actually trying to go, but then I can't remember what happened. I tend to go to most of the American fights at the minute, but I didn't actually go that one. I was at the rematch in Saudi when he gained his belts back, and he done good there, you know what I mean? He managed to figure out a format and outbox him and put out a different strategy, which was good. And he's got to do it all again now. He lost to Usyk. I was there at that one. What was it, 76,000 at Tottenham football ground? That's crazy. You know what I mean? That was wild. Listen to that was wild in there. So now, I thought he done very well. I'm not going to lie, because Usyk is one hell of a operator, and he's a technical guy. And when we look at the aspect of Usyk, he's been boxing a lot longer than Joshua. He's had more amateur fights. He's more decorated as an amateur. He's more decorated as a professional. So the chips was always going to be against Joshua.
I don't know why people thought that Usyk
was
the
a
underdog. Yeah. Like, to me, I was a bit baffled because I was thinking, don't you lot know this guy?
Who done his?
But I guess because he wasn't as commercial, so people instantly thought, well, it's a thing that anytime I see like a challenger, I always go and watch his old fights and what he's done. And I was like, oh, my man's been around Klitschko's and them lot for a hot minute. So you already know what he's about to come with. And if he's been around Klitschko, he would already had his full homework on Joshua.
Listen, he was undisputed cruiserweight champion. There's probably maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember. I'm not the mad historian, but I understand the boxing. But he is in a small group of elite fighters that have done that. Holyfield was one of them that managed to unify. And what you got to understand is cruiserweight and heavyweight, there's not much difference.
Not much difference,
So he's been fighting big fat guys his whole life. He's fought probably people like maybe Philip Hergovich. I'm not 100, but I know he fought Joe Joyce, who's a big old lummox, tough, durable, and he beat him. So he's been fighting, and like you said, we saw him in camp. I was at the Klitschko camp. Me and Dill for like I think 3 or 4, 5 months we was there. And he was giving Klitschko nightmares with the movement and stuff. And what you got to bear in mind, he's a southpaw fighter. For people that don't understand, so orthodox you'll fight with your left foot forward, and then southpaw you fight with your right foot. It's a madness. Trust me, it's an absolute nightmare. So Joshua, he would have had a lot of kittens in there. I felt he done pretty good for fighting a southpaw and not getting himself knocked out. That's what I felt he done pretty good, and I felt like he was smart enough not to walk onto that that left shot, the straight left, which Usyk was trying to get him. He did catch him a couple times, stunned him a couple times, but I felt like it was always on the right, and because he's a little bit bigger, muscular, a bit more slower, timing kills, speed kills, all of those things, and the experience was always going against. I wanted him to win, and I still want him to win because obviously he's from man's demographic. He's a Bray. You get me? He's a cool cat. So and obviously to bring the belts back here, it'd be great again because there's great fights here. He's got a lot to do. It is a hard fight, but I don't think it's impossible. Nothing's impossible when you put your mind to it and dedicate the time and the application. So I think like for him, he just needs to be. Everyone, some people say he needs to be more rougher and tougher. I agree somewhat, but he's not Dillian. He's not Chisora. But he has to find his middle ground
of that.
In that. And when he's in the clinches, instead of just holding, when he's in the clinches, he needs to punch and get short shots that are gonna count. But look, I wish him luck and all that. But I mean, heavyweight division is always good. Welterweight division explosive. You got Conor Benn. If you follow boxing, he's in the UK doing things. Conor Benn, but that's a stacked division across the board. I mean, worldwide.
That's a deadly division.
Yeah, it is. No, it's a deadly because the boys in that boys in that division. You got Jared Ennis, who's a monster. He's 26-0, 25 knockouts. Earl Spence. You got Ugas, another welterweight. Then you've got Crawford. Listen, you got. Oh, Mikey Garcia's fighting Virgil Ortiz.
I feel like bare people are ducking Crawford though. I feel like everyone's dancing around him.
Crawford.
Everyone's trying to just wait for him to just age out. That's what it is.
That's what happens.
They're waiting for him to age out.
And that's smart though. That's business. Remember, because we got to understand is the best fighting the best is all good. And if you're not getting paid from fighting the best, or you're not getting your just deserves in that, why make that move? I can continue to dominate over here in my lane, making this bread, as opposed to saying, oh, let me come over here and chance this with someone who's equally as good right now. If you can be smart enough to not outwardly say it, but maneuver the table, the chessboard, and strike at the right time. Look what Canelo does. Canelo is another beast, and he does it all the time.
Very tactical.
People say Mayweather used to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's another division. Canelo's division. Super middleweight, sick. Light heavyweight in the UK is mad. There's Bear Man in the light heavyweight. You've got Boatsi, Croydon boy. You've got Boatsi. You've got Anthony Yard. Obviously, he was lost. He came off that loss and devastating win.
He came back with a vengeance, boy.
You've got Dan Aziz, now the new British champion.
He's tough.
You got my brethren, Craig Richards, the Spider. That's I was touring America with him the other day.
Oh, you went there with Craig, yeah?
Yeah, I brought him because obviously, like he was,
Craig's my guy still.
Craig's proper people.
I've known Craig. We was on the same PT course.
Okay.
He was on the same PT course. That's about 9 years ago. Yeah, a long time still.
He's done exceptionally well.
And then he was like talking about, he's like, I'm boxing. Trust me, in the next few years you're gonna see the next minute.
He's taken off. Listen.
Like, he's done well, man.
He's been an exceptional talent, and I think he's underrated somewhat, if you get my meaning. Because until people get in the ring with him and see exactly how imposing he is, he's about he's 6'1" maybe. About
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". Yeah. But I mean, he's very tall for the weight. Very imposing. Can punch. He fought a guy that I used to manage, who I got the English title for before, in Shakan Pitters, and he stopped him. And he's been stopping a lot of boys. We went to America, and obviously I do a lot of media stuff out there as well. So like I was saying, the analyst stuff. So I do like the pre-interviews in America before the big fights, and then after at ringside, I do post analysis on the fight. So I was kind of bringing him in some interviews, kind of introducing him to people in America. Some knew him anyway because he had that fight with Bivol before, so he's profiled the Razor. If they didn't, I would introduce him and kind of get him pattern. And we was talking to people about fights that he could potentially have, big money fights in America. And we were just going about, but then we went sparring. So we went sparring in, where did we go? Salas's gym, which is a big Cuban coach in there. He sparred with some big southpaw heavyweight and some next knockout merchant who's middleweight. Yo, that was smoky. Them man were trying to get him up out of there. Listen, how you think it's joke? Listen.
Everyone thinking, oh, he's this London boy here.
Trust me. Them Donnies were not playing about. Listen, when we walked in the gym, big heavyweight, big guy, muscly, big old barrel chest. He had his gloves on like that as we walked in. And he said, yes, I am ready. I was like, yeah, you look like you're ready.
Man said, Ivan Drago, if he dies, he dies.
No, but it was literally that kind of style, you got what I'm trying to say. The guy had his gloves on and was ready in the ring, punching pads. And then he was like, oh, yeah, he's cruiserweight. I said, that guy's not cruiserweight, my guy. That guy is a big dude. And then there were other guys. So then anyway, that guy stayed in. When Craig was next to him, I was looking at him. I was like, Ross Clark, that guy is big. So when the guy was thumping Craig and he might have moved and hit his shoulder, you could see how the power was forcing him back. I was like, raw. But then Craig started to touch him up. Because he's got good movement, he's kind of moving and making the guy miss and then touching him. When the guy got tired and they was like, oh, let's pull him out and pull this. No. We keep this bastard in one more time. We're going to show this sucker. So then obviously Craig touched him up a little bit. Then the next guy come in. But now, because Craig's been in there like, say, I think 3 or 4 rounds, so he's a little bit tired. That guy coming like a tornado.
Trying to smoke.
Trying to get him. So, but I was saying to Craig, just lean off and throw the uppercut, skin him out. You get me? So we kept catching a couple of times. But listen, he got some good sparring. That was in Las Vegas, and then we went to LA. We went to the wild card. Big up them man there at the wild card. That's Freddie Roach, Hall of Famer trainer, Manny Pacquiao's trainer, and among a few other, stars that they've had over the years that have been to the famous gym in LA. And we sparred down there with a guy from Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan, like heavyweight, and that was good as well. So Craig done pretty good on the road. He's, tested himself, and I think all fighters
need to do that.
Irrespective if it's only Europe and you want to get to a certain, because you can't become a world beater in your backyard. Everyone wants to become a world beater, but they don't want to put the effort in to travel maybe to Europe, travel to Manchester, travel to, let alone America. But a lot of people kind of stay locally, spar with their normal guys and don't understand how they don't evolve and change. America, if you want to be at the pinnacle, they got a wealth of talent. You might go there and get your ass beat a few times, but you learn. Because, it's just inevitable. If you, after a while, you'll start to progress.
50-something states, gym to gym, tons of fighters.
Listen, they're serious. I was predominantly in the top-ranked gym. I was in a top-ranked gym in Las Vegas, mainly, and a lot of boys out there. You got big up Coach K, my guy. He's out there. He's Shakur Stevenson's trainer, big baby, a new heavyweight prospect. Probably, one of the biggest stars to be rising in boxing at the minute. He's 10-0, 10 knockouts. Trust me, big problem. Very, very talented individual. Who trains there? Josh Taylor obviously trains in the UK, but he trains out at the Top Rank gym. And many other, if you're like, Top Rank's probably one of the biggest promotions in America at the minute. You got Golden Boy as well, but I mean, Top Rank is probably the biggest. That gym has got a wealth and a depth of talent. If you want to get good sparring, you can go there. Big up my guy Frankie as well. He's the owner of the gym. Welcome me down there, looks after me anytime I go to Vegas. So, I mean, any fighter who's worth his weight in gold, if you want to develop and grow, you can do stuff here, but save your money, invest in yourself, which is your brand and your career, and go to America and try and do your best and go and get sparring and learn. And be away from your family, miss them, and know that this is all a learning curve and being part of your journey. You know what I mean? Being away and showing how much you want this, because it's all great being in the comforts, like we say, in your own confinement, in your house. You know what I mean?
That's like even when, so my little cousin comes here a lot. Jaim's 6'6", 20. You'd probably seen him around me back when he was younger. He'd come Flaxman a couple of times, but it was like frail back then, slim. So he wants to box, but he goes to Mitcham, to Thingy's gym. What's his name? The Dreads.
Oh yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, so he goes to Marcus's gym.
Decent trainer.
Yeah, so he goes to Marcus' gym, but Marcus says to him that, he don't come often. Because what's happened was years ago, Jimmy seen him training with me, Manuel. So I said to him, "Rah, that's my little cousin." He's like, "How old is he?" At the time, he was 18. I was like, "Yeah, he's 18." He was like, "Huh?" Make him come to the gym. So he's gone there and done pad work with them lot. Then them lot are saying to him, "Rah, stay in. By the time you're like 22, 23, if you've got like..."
Yeah.
What this guy will go like 1 week for like 2-3 days.
And then disappear.
And I said to him that, "Rah, you don't understand, this is a sport full of killers."
Yeah.
And especially at the weight class you're at, they're real killers.
What
If them man hit you, huh?
Wait, yeah.
He's a heavyweight.
Oh,
He's a big ute, huh?
Forget about it.
He's a big ute. He's a real big ute. So I said, "Rah, at the size you are, you're like 6'6", you weigh like 120 kilos. You need to stay in that gym."
No, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a dangerous place. So you need to make your mind whether
if
you're on it or you're gonna end up being a journeyman from the beginning.
Or you get them man there that just wanna be physical, so they're ready to go out there and get someone out of there on the street. You know, listen, you got them little nasty sons who come, train, get the techers, and be like either gym warriors or getting man out on the road. You get me? What's that you say? And they're getting them out on the strip. You never see the way I knocked him out on the road, but it's dangerous because if that person dies, you're like a little bit of a weapon. So it is kind of dangerous, kind of funny. When you're talking about it's mad. Was it Wednesday we done some sparring? Yeah. So I got one of my little young bucks who's there, my son's brother, and he's sparring. He's getting better and better. He fought the other day. You probably, if you see him, his name's Ibi, and he was sparring with one of the proper solid heavyweights. But my guy was teeing off and just missing him. I'm like, yo, fam, them shots you're throwing are quite hard. You know, this guy ain't nobody. You know, this guy ain't nobody. He's like, he's not even a. And he caught him with one big overhand, skin him out. I was like, huh? I had to grab him by the you know, the head guard thing. I boxed him in his head. I said, "He's stupid, my friend. You can't punch this guy like this in his head." Like, you know, like, man, like, I get it, because this guy's in front of him and he's touching him a little bit. Yeah. But then he's just saying, "Look, I'm trying to learn my trade, but I'm saying you got to be understanding who you're in there with. And box to the level of the opponent, but still practice what you need to practice.
So basically use them to work on all your weaknesses. Exactly. They're not as developed as you.
Bingo. Sit there. But some people don't appreciate that. So my man touched him and threw the big overhand, fam. I saw the foot. Get on up. I'm a sex machine. I saw the foot. I was like, yo.
He said his knees started milli rocking,
but you know, as soon as he threw the shot, I knew he was skin out anyway. Yeah. So, because I could see, because he was leaning and there was no defense shot. And hit him straight on the whiskers. I was like, God damn. Boxing is so fun and good, and it's so beneficial to young people for discipline and getting them off the streets. But then some people don't have what it takes to be champions or fighters. You know, some people come and they're happy to, you know, just do it in the gym, gym warriors.
There's a lot of men I know who go like Miguel's and just train. Like my boy Christian. So he's about, I was Christian, he should be like 37. So we call him Rap. Well, he goes Miguel's all the time and trains. So I'm like, he's been training for years, but I know he just don't fight. Yeah, so he might spar all the time over there, but I've just never seen him try to push past that. But that's just his
and there's nothing wrong with that.
You get me? Like he loves boxing. Like he's a proper like stay up in the night, watch boxing type man. Them kind of things there. But I guess like you said, it's not for everyone.
Bro, boxing, the game is hard. I'm not gonna lie, and it depends where you are in your life as well. You know. Because I was in sports, but I did the Muay Thai thing. Yeah. Muay Thai is hard as that kicking knee and elbows. Obviously, I was doing that, but in that, there's no bread. There's only pain. Oh my God. Listen. I
swear Dylan used to do Muay Thai as well with you.
So listen, there's only pain in kickboxing. Listen, I remember I got paid something like $150 one of the fights. Fam, you know, I couldn't walk for about 6 weeks. Bro, you think this is for, listen, $250 and like I mean, like you see all of the bones in my my shin was like mush because you're kicking shin on shin, teared ligaments, ruptured back.
But I said 150 for 6 weeks. That's £4 10p.
Fam.
No, £4.16p
remember,
per day.
What you got to understand is you got to start from somewhere. You got what I'm trying to say? I was hoodwinked in that fight as well in terms of like, you know, obviously I was developing quite quick, so they were just like putting man on to bigger stages quite quick. But the thing is, the MMA, kickboxing. I thought kickboxing is probably one of the most brutal. Yeah. Because when you're concentrating on this, man's kicking out your foot. MMA is quite difficult because then people shoot and take you down as well, which I've done that. Similar thing, but yet again, you could wrestle and not take as much damage. With kickboxing, it's if you're not worried about punching your head, as soon as they punch you, they're low kicking you in the knee. It's a lot more things to concern yourself with. They're all different in their own ways, obviously, and they're all hard, but I think, you need a different kind of spirit to do it. And where I was doing it, yet again, it was ego-y kind of thing. I can do this. I can fight there and I can iron out 2 men on the strip or something.
Ain't a joke, One time, you ain't even going to remember this. One time, I remember like in Flaxman, I see you now, tried to flinch you, just a little, then you just give me a little, bro, for 2 weeks, every time I coughed, I could feel.
Yeah, the back.
Yeah, I could feel,
I think that was like a little fraction in
I was like, after that, I was like, me and Gappy ain't ramping with each other no more. When I see you, I was like, I'm not even gonna play these games. It's just a little, but every time I laugh, the cough.
That's like, That you see them injuries they take. I've done that to many people. Apologies over this forever. That's happened to. But you know that injury, it's quite easy to do. You see, if you're messing about and someone's straining one way and you touch them and you hit them, like it's just like it's happened to me. I think a man that either need me in there or something one time, but like when you cough or breathe. Bro, them things take months to heal.
Bro, I just remember every time for weeks, someone's busted joke, I'm like, don't laugh, don't even laugh. Like, you can just feel it.